class. Today we're going to be learning about Bolivia and Paraguay. Do you guys have any questions?
Yes, Amy?
Oh, well, I see that Nanduti is a popular form of art in Paraguay. Can you tell me a little bit more about Nanduti?
Nanduti is embroidered lace that involves intricate designs and colors.
Yes, Caitlin?
So what are like the surrounding countries of Paraguay?
Brazil, Bolivia, Argentina, and South Central South America surround Paraguay. And Paraguay is about the size of California. Peru, Brazil, Chile, Paraguay, and Argentina surround Bolivia, and Bolivia is twice the size of Texas.
Yes, Amy?
Could you tell me about some of the traditions of Bolivia?
There are many traditions, such as religious festivals that go along with the predominant Catholic faith by going to Mass, dancing, eating food, or going on long walks. Many of the traditional cuisine consists of corn, a beverage called api that's like tea, potatoes, soup, meat stews, and various types of meat. Another tradition revolves around the coca leaf. This leaf has been used since pre-Hispanic and colonial times. The Amara natives and the people today traditionally use coca leaves to chew on for an energy boost while working, for religious uses, and controversially to make cocaine.
Yes, Caitlin?
What is the capital of Bolivia?
The capital of Bolivia is Sucre, which is the constitutional capital, and La Paz, which is the administrative capital. The capital of Paraguay is Asunción. Now, the traditions for Paraguay is that they drink a mate tea, which is made of yerba mate leaves. It's traditionally sipped from a gourd with a special metal straw. There's also religious festivals, and the traditional foods include cassava, which is a root vegetable, hopara, chichara, and ribero. We interrupt your program for this very special news report.
The figures are in for Paraguay's April 21st presidential election, and Horacio Cartes is in the lead, 42.7% vote intention against the 29.2% of his closest rival, Efrain Alegre.
Thoughts are still with the Oviedo family. After the helicopter crash on February 2nd, killing presidential candidate Lino Oviedo, some Paraguayans think that there might have been an assassination plot to the crash. However, officials report that the crash was due to the weather.
In Bolivian news, the United States said that Bolivia, the world's third largest cocaine producer, is not meeting the global obligations to fight narcotics. The president, Evo Morales, kicked out the Drug Enforcement Administration in 2009 and sticks up for coca planting. We have a short video about the conflict of coca farming.
To hang on to the pulley, the cocaleros simply attach themselves with bits of fabric and cloth.
Si es que se pasa es para frenar, para quedarse, para no chocar al frente, frena con eso. ¿Y los ojos no se queman? No se queman. Voy a ir ahora al frente. Voy a volar. Un avión. Ya.
Even at age 72, Don Ignacio continues to fly across the valley every day to tend to his coca plantation on the other side of the mountain. Since the price of coffee collapsed, coca has taken over as the main crop for the Yungas. It's been cultivated since the time of the Incas, a form of narcotic chewed by the locals to overcome. Life for the cocaleros, such as Severo, has become a little easier since the election of Evo Morales in the presidential elections of 2005.
Desde que ha entrado el presidente Evo ha cambiado, pues, ¿no? Porque más antes había bloqueos, bloqueo y bloqueos, no ha servido entonces. Les han dicho pues, anteriores gobiernos, ¿no? que querían erradicar toda la coca. Por eso nadie quería defender de la coca. Produce cocaína, decía, ¿no? Entonces, claro, coca no es coca sola tampoco, que es con los químicos hacen pues eso.
Severa says he's never seen cocaine. As far as he's concerned, his coca is a powerful therapy against fatigue, pain, and altitude sickness.
What an interesting video. Now let's go to my friend Tina Shoes for our sports report. Tina Shoes?
Thanks, Taiping. It's been an interesting week in the sports world for Bolivia and Paraguay. Fans are still talking about the World Cup match on March 22nd. In Paraguay versus Uruguay, Luis Suarez scored in the 82nd minute to give Uruguay a 1-0 lead, but Paraguay replied 4 minutes later with an equalizer from Edgar Benitez. The match ended in a draw and Paraguay plays again on June 7th. In Bolivia, footballer Ronaldinho has been awarded with the honorary citizenship of La Paz by the Bolivian's capital governor, Cesar Cocorico, on March 12th. The 32-year-old Ronaldinho has said, "I am very happy to be given this tribute. For me, it is an honor to be well received here in Bolivia." Cocorico said the former Barcelona and AC Milan star would always be welcome in Bolivia. Back to you, Ivana Snoop.
There are lots of interesting things going on in the sporting world. Now let's break to the weather with sunny skies.
You won't need an umbrella for rain this week, but you will need it for the shade. They don't call me Sunny Skies for nothing. The weather this week in Bolivia is sunny with a chance of rain. The climate of Bolivia varies drastically from one ecoregion to the other, from the tropics in the eastern llanos to polar climates in the western Andes. The summers are warm, humid in the east and dry in the west, with rains that often modify temperatures, humidity, winds, atmospheric pressure, and evaporation, giving place to very different climates. Winters are very cold in the west and it snows around the mountain ranges, while in the western regions, windy days are more usual. The autumn is dry in the non-tropical regions. The weather in Paraguay is hot, hot, hot. The overall climate ranges from subtropical to temperate, and like most lands in the region, Paraguay has only a wet and dry period. Winds play a major role in influencing Paraguay's weather. Between October and March, warm winds blow from the Amazon basin in the north, while the period between May and August brings cold winds from the Andes. The lack of mountain ranges to provide a natural wind barrier allows winds to develop speeds as high as 100 miles per hour. This also leads to significant changes in temperature within a short span of time. Between April and September, temperatures will sometimes drop below freezing. January is the hottest summer month, with an average daily temperature of 84 degrees. Back to you, Taiping.
And that's the way the cookie crumbles.
Hola! Tonight on E, we're taking an inside look on the pop culture of Bolivia and Paraguay.
Like ideas mío.
What do you want to look at first, Katie?
Let's jam out to Bolivia music. They sure know how to have a good time.
Well, if you think Bolivians have great music, wait till you escucha Paraguay music.
Cuando me miras con amor, cuando tú me haces el amor.
Now, let's go to Amy for our art segment.
Dígame! If you think you know about art, think Ultra Bass. This last month, we celebrated women in the arts. Meet Marina Nunes. Marina Nunes del Prado was one of the most respected sculptors from Latin America. Her work is highly sensuous with rolling curves. She carved from native Bolivian woods, as well as granite, alabaster, basalt, and white onyx. Marina was born in 1910 in La Paz, Bolivia. She studied at the Fine Arts Academy in La Paz, Escuela Nacional de Bellas Artes, and graduated in 1930. Afterwards, she taught sculpture and artistic anatomy at the academy, becoming the first woman to hold posts there. On September 23, 1940, Marina arrived in New York City via boat from Bolivia. There, she studied fine arts at the Art Students League and spent much of her time making 60-inch sculptures in clay. While in New York, Marina wrote countless letters to Mary H. Smith, the secretary of the American Association of University Women's Fellowship Committee, or the AAUW. Her correspondence showed her driven nature to persevere through hardships, but her fellowship application was rejected. Her unwavering dedication to improve her artistic technique forced her to continue applying. Her letters showed her enthusiasm for her education and her dedication to a global and inter-American understanding among women. She was approved. She saw her art as an opportunity to bring countries together, as well as a way to build knowledge that could be brought back to Bolivia. Marina died in Peru in 1995 at the age of 85. Her ultimate goal with art was to tell the story of her Bolivian heritage.
What's that sound?
It's Fashion Police! Oh, I am so tweeting that.
Can you believe she wore that?
Chabaha it, girl.
Let's take a photo.
Oh, the camera's rolling.
So we were just looking at the worst dressed of today.
And we've got some people out there that don't know how to dress.
But there are some people, besides us, that know what's up when it comes to ropa.
First, we want to look at this interesting traditional hat from Bolivia. My boo needs one.
This hard hat from Bolivia, Central South America, looks appealing but smells appalling. This is because the hat is made from cow dung, straw, and paper. These materials were mixed together and molded into the helmet shape, then left to dry, much like paper mache. This is a traditional hat from the Amara indigenous people. The low drop in the brim could be to shelter the head from the biting cold weather of the Andes, or the design could be to protect the neck from evil spirits.
You know, Bolivia's fashion is whack, but me gusta their colors. Bowler hats or bombins, colorful fabrics, and hand-knit clothing are essentials in any native Amaran wardrobe.
Paraguay, however, was just chosen during the opening ceremonies of 2012 Olympics in London. They were just chosen as the best dressed.
This is more of an accurate representation of what Paraguayan people wear in today's world. They have a modern Western look as well as people from Bolivia. Here's the worst dress of the day.
Well, would you look at that? Just look at it.
Traditional clothing from Paraguay.
I saw someone wearing this today and I was like, ew.
Tune in next time for our segment on bib overalls. They're making a comeback. Stay in moda.
Adios!